Hi guys, Phil here from the Mindful Mover, and today I want to talk to you guys about the concept of free gains. So raise your hand if you've ever had this problem. It's a problem where there's so much to work on in calisthenics, you kind of don't know where to start or where to put your time. I mean, there are front levers, back levers, side levers, elbow levers. I mean, there are so many variations of push-up, we won't even go through them because otherwise this video will probably end up being several hours. And the problem that brings is that there's only so much time in the day to work on these different variations and only so much energy to work on them with. That can make it so difficult to know what to work on, when to work on it, how many sets to do, how many reps to do, should I do this one first, this one next. It can become a mess. What's the answer to that? The answer is to use the free gains concept. What's the free gains concept? It's understanding that certain movements will give you gains in other movements without you having to do direct work on them. For example, let's take the planche push-up and the bench press. What you might notice is that if you work on planche push-up, let's say you work towards being able to do your first tuck planche push-up, and you've never worked on bench press, but you go over to work on the bench press and notice, hey, you can do a couple reps with 135 pounds. That's pretty awesome. That's free gains. Now, your tuck planche push-up then gets stronger and goes to an advanced tuck planche push-up. And while you've been working on that, you haven't been working on the bench press. But despite not working on the bench press, you go over and test it, and what you find is that your bench press has gone from 135 pounds to 185 pounds. It's going up for free with no direct work. And then what do? Well, you take that advanced tuck planche push-up and build it into a straddle planche push-up. And you notice that your bench press, still with no work, has now gone up from 185 to 225. You're experiencing free gains from the planche push-up to the bench press. On the other hand, the reverse is not so true. For example, let's say you worked on bench press. You might work up to 135 pounds. And then you might test and see that you don't have your tuck planche push-up. Okay. And then let's say you take your bench press from 135 to 185, and you're still not working on planche push-ups, but even though your bench press just went up 50 pounds, your planche push-up doesn't go to advanced tuck. And then you take your bench press from 185 to 225, and you notice that your planche push-up still doesn't improve. So the free gains only go one way. Some movements have free gains towards other movements, and other movements don't have free gains towards much else at all. So based on that, I would prioritize working on the planche push-up because I know that working on that will give me planche push-up gains and bench press gains. On the other hand, the bench press is not my priority. If I work on that, it doesn't automatically mean that my planche push-up is going to go up, and that's not really worth my time. In later videos, we're going to go over each of the big five and their progressions, and in other later videos, we'll go over some of those free gains that you make while working on the big five. But for now, if you're confused on what to spend your time and energy on, then spend it on those big five progressions. That will allow you to be making these free gains at the same time without working on them.